What's up, y'all? I know I said I was gonna review the Magical Society, or fuck, whatever the name is, the American Society of Magical Negroes. I couldn't finish it, guys. I didn't even I made it like 8 minutes in and I just noped out. I couldn't do it. All right, let me put this in perspective. Think what I said about Blue Beetle, where they wrote like every white person to just be mean, even if it didn't make sense, even if it was contrived. It was that on steroids, and that was just the first 8 minutes. I mean, the movie starts. We meet our main character. He works at some like art gallery, and no one's looking at his art. So his boss tries to convince him to go to like one of the art critics to check out his art. But the critic hands him a fucking a cup to refill, even though he's clearly not a fucking waiter. But no, we have to make him. Oh, the white guy thinks he's a waiter because he's black. He's like he's like the help. It's like he's looking at him. He's not in like a suit or a tux or anything like that. Why the fuck would you think he's the help? Like it was, and then like his boss was mean, and then jumping ahead, there's a scene where he's like, there's this long shot. Because I guess this is the credits, where you just see him like just opening credits. He is just like walking, I guess, to his house. But no, he's going to this ATM, which, by the way, there's just this random ATM in the middle of this clearly looks like I'm gonna say it, like the bad side of the neighborhood. Like the bad side of town. There's like tagging everywhere. And there's just this random ATM, which ATMs don't work like that. Granted, I know this could be a different state. I'm in California, I know. But most ATMs that I've seen do not work like that. You don't just have ATMs out in the open. You either find them in like some liquor store or wherever, or at the bank. They're not just like the ATMs you see like that aren't going to just be in the fucking open like that. And then, and this random white lady comes out of nowhere, and I guess she's really drunk. So she needs to ask to help by, putting the card in, and she's trying to give him her PIN number, which this wouldn't happen. No one does. Even fucking drunk. I don't buy that this would happen. I don't think you would just be drunk enough to just give someone your fucking PIN number. I don't care how fucking drunk you are. If you're drunk, are you really going to be going to the ATM? Probably not. It's so still. And then like the music they played is clearly supposed to be like Harry Potter music. It's clearly supposed to be like the music they play is straight up like, yeah, this sounds like the Harry Potter music. And this scenario is so fucking stupid. So she gives him, and then I think it's supposed to be funny because she accidentally gives him her number, and then he gives him her purse. And then these two white guys, which, keep in mind, guys, I'm going to say this once again, this isn't the bad side of town. You're really just telling me there's two fucking random white, for one, yeah, there's this random white chick, too, that just happens to be in the bad side of town, happening right now to get need to get her, get something out of the ATM. And then these two white guys out of nowhere, but then she forgets she lost her purse, or a card, because she forgets it's in the fucking ATM because she's drunk. So she makes it seem like he stole it. That's the insinuation. And then they charge at him because, he's black guy, so we just assume he steal. It's like, this scenario wouldn't happen. These random white dudes in the bad side of town thinking he stole this lady's purse. What the fuck, dude? Like, that's where I noped out. I was just like, okay, this is going to be a whole movie of this. But I figured I still wanted to do Bad Movie Wednesday. Granted, it's Thursday technically now. But Bad Movie Wednesday, I found another one. It's a movie called Never Too Young to Die. I saw a channel a couple months ago talk about it. It is literally Uncle Jesse taking on, and I'm not kidding you, pretty much Gene Simmons in drag. Or he's a hermaphrodite in the movie because he has tits and like all that. It's I'm not kidding you. It's Gene Simmons in drag is the villain. And Uncle Jesse, because his dad is George Lazenby, who's a spy. He's basically James Bond. They don't say he's James Bond, but I kind of. But then he dies, so he has to take his place. And then, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't really gather the plot. He has to avenge his dad, basically. And I get the bad guy's name is. And also, keep in mind, Gene Simmons. It's so weird because it's like a mix of two movies. His dad's a spy, but the villains feel like villains in like a Mad Max movie. Like it's like two ideas. We're gonna make it like one wanted to do like we're gonna do this secret agent movie, but then the other one we're gonna do this like Mad Max type because the villain is very much a Mad Max villain. Like because. Well, actually, in the start of it, they feel like, I guess, kind of rocker guys because they're like in leather. But then towards the end, there's like a middle portion where they attack the girl, and the guy who attacks the girl, he looks like something out of fucking Conan. So it's like some of the outfits are weird. It's just like, is this the costumes you just had on deck? So you just kind of had these on deck and you just use them because it really doesn't make any sense because it's supposed to be like a spy movie, but the villain, and then they're like. Then there's a chase scene where the villains clearly look like they're fucking from Mad Max. It's like all over the place with what type of movie this movie is supposed to be. It's pretty entertainingly bad. The acting's bad, but it's funny though. And I figured I wanted to find like a bad movie like that to review. Something like that. I didn't, because I didn't want to just not do a video. And I know I said I was going to do Magical Negro. I just couldn't do it. Guys, I didn't want to get really pissed off, and I feel like that's all that movie was gonna do, because it was just like that first 8 minutes was just that, dude. It wasn't even like anything else besides that, and then obviously I know there's gonna be a shitty love story, so it's just gonna be boring too. So I'm actually happy I decided to do this, because you know what? Fuck that movie. That movie flopped, and it makes sense why it flopped. You wrote every white person like they're basically a piece of shit. You had the mean lady boss. You had the one guy who thought the main character was a waiter, even though he's clearly not in a suit. It brought me back to Blue Beetle when you had the lady who thought Jaime was a fucking mail worker. Like not a mail worker, a delivery boy because he's Mexican, right? Even though he's in a suit, he doesn't have like a UPS or some delivery suit on. But yeah, because, mean white person. It's like that here. This dude's clearly looking at him. Why would he think he's a fucking waiter? Like, why? But I know why. But it's just because, white person mean, so we gotta, this guy thinks he's a waiter because he's black. And then, like, the scene I was just talking about, which was so absurd. This drunk white lady who, keep in mind, I'm gonna say it again, they were in the bad side of town. Clearly was the bad side of town. Where this just random lone ATM. ATMs don't work like that. It would be attached to like a bank or something, but okay. And this random white lady who's really drunk just tells me, you know what, I'm going to give you my card, and then so you can put it in for me, and then I'm going to give you my... This scenario would not fucking happen. That's like... Even in Hollywood scenarios, that wouldn't fucking happen. That's still out there. Even you're really gonna have to really have me believe that. It's gonna be hard for me to believe that. No one's not even that drunk. Maybe you might do that with someone like your best friend, maybe, because as your best friend, you would trust them. But you're not gonna just ask some random motherfucker, "Oh, can you put my card in? I'm gonna give you my number, my PIN card, or my PIN number." Are you serious? Because now this motherfucker knows your PIN number. You don't know if this motherfucker could just steal your shit and try to hack your shit? Like, are you kidding me? Like, they did something like that. And then she forgets, because obviously she's drunk, but even that I've been really drunk before, but I feel like I would still remember that I let this guy use my card. But to automatically assume, this guy stole it because... And then these random two white guys who are just happening to walk down the street when this is going on. I'm like, no, dude. That doesn't make any sense. That wouldn't happen. Like, that whole scenario wouldn't happen. So yeah, I'm happy I decided to do this. So fuck that movie. But anyway, tomorrow I'm gonna be reviewing another Guy Ritchie movie, The Covenant. I've never seen it, so I'm gonna check it out tomorrow. So we'll see if it's any good. I've heard it's good, so I'll check it out tomorrow. And yeah, but anyways, it will probably be earlier tomorrow. I would say. I'm gonna probably watch it like tomorrow morning, or not morning, but like tomorrow, sometime early tomorrow, and then try to review it early tomorrow, and then Friday I'll figure out what we're gonna do. But anyways, let's get to Never Too Young to Die. So the movie, basically, this is where you're introduced to Ragnar, which is Gene Simmons. Who, man, I will give him this. Gene Simmons was pretty creepy in this, but I don't know if it was creepy just because he's basically a tranny. Essentially, that's what he is. He's a tranny in this movie. And yeah, this movie wouldn't be made today because it would be seen as a mockery of trans people now because the villain. So basically, his plan is he wants to poison the water supply. So he decides to poison the pipeline. I don't even think the movie really tells you what city you're in. It just says generic city pipeline. And then this is where we meet Drew Stargrove, and the way they introduce fucking John Stamos, or what's his character? I'm trying to remember his name. Lance. Lance is the main one. They introduce Lance. They play this fucking song called Stargrove. It's so fucking 80s. I guess he's a gymnast. So it's like this super 80s intro of him, like montage of him doing, gymnast stuff. And he got like the fucking 80s fuck song playing. And then this is where you see his dad, George Lazenby, who's only in this movie for like a little bit. I don't even think he has one scene with his son at all. Like, they don't have a scene together at all, which is fucking funny. I don't think they had, like, because he gets his son gets a gift from his dad, like a care package, but that's it. He doesn't actually, like, it's some wash which they use to cheat, basically. Yeah, it's so fucking 80s. And then, yeah, so his dad goes with a squad to Ragnar's hideout. They end up getting captured. One of them actually turns on them. Turns out he actually is working with Ragnar. And then Ragnar kills his partner and then eventually kills Drew. But he needs some random disc, which they don't really explain. Like, obviously, a lot of these kind of movies, they have something that they need, but they don't really explain why they need it or why it's relevant. It's just generic MacGuffin. So, like, the disc is just a MacGuffin that fucking Ragnar needs, but they don't explain why. Or if they did, I just wasn't paying attention, but I don't think they did at all. So, and this is where Lance learns of his dad's death, and he doesn't care because he thinks his dad didn't care for him or whatever. And this is where we meet, what's her name? Oh, Danya. Danya is like the love interest played by Vandy. I've never heard of this woman. She's the love interest, and they have like zero chemistry. Her acting is really bad too, because there's a scene where she gets attacked by one of Ragnar's guys who he looks like straight out of Conan. Like, he's straight up out of Conan. It's so weird. And then he gives a bit of dialogue because she like has a gun on him, and then one of his other guys comes in and he takes her gun, and he's like, "Give her the disc." bitch, or I'll what was it? He said like I'll fucking tear your asshole or something, shoot up you, like he basically is threatening to rape. It's like I think essentially it's like a threatening to rape her, but the line was just like it's like tear up your butthole or something like that. Like what the fuck? I'm like, what is this dialogue? And then yeah, so Lance arrives. They start connecting. Obviously, they go to Ragnar's like I guess like club, like a biker club, where you get Ragnar playing because you had to get Gene Simmons singing. Obviously, you're not gonna have Gene Simmons in a movie, even though he's the bad guy. And it's the creep. I'll admit the performance is pretty creepy. If that's what they were trying to convey, it was pretty creepy. Because fucking makes yeah, you know, obviously Gene Simmons is gonna do the tongue thing because he was in Kiss. Lance and Daniel get in an argument because he thinks that his dad basically fucked her. And I'll admit, yeah, I thought so too. The movie even made it seem like that. It seemed like, oh, they were lovers. No, they don't really even explain what their connection was. Because even after that connection is cleared up, they still don't still don't really explain like what her actual connection is with his dad. I guess he's his partner. And and she says like, "Oh, he did a lot for me." So vague. That's so vague, but whatever. I'm not really expecting much from this movie. And then yeah, so he ends up nearly getting killed. Yeah, I think before that there's a scene where he meets up with Ragnar. But yeah, Ragnar almost has him killed nearly because they put a bomb on his motorcycle and someone tries to steal it. And then when he starts it, blows up, which was, I'll admit, that scene, I was cackling. I'll admit, that was pretty funny just because how abrupt it was. And then basically just turns to daytime, and then it's Lance chasing Danya in the car because, you know, she's mad at him. And then, like, a bunch of bad guys show up. And then this is where it becomes Mad Max because the bad guys look like straight out of, like, they look like straight out of fucking Road Warrior. Like, it's like, what the fuck? It's like, did whoever make this movie just watch Road Warrior? Because it would have made sense. This film came out in 86, so Road Warrior was 85, so... No, that's Beyond Thunderdome. I'm stupid. No, it would make sense then, yeah. So Beyond Thunderdome and Road Warrior, even Road Warrior would have still been several years before that, so... I'm wondering, did they just watch Mad Max and like, okay, we gotta make the bad guys look like Mad Max now? It makes no sense, because they go from, like, almost like a biker gang, or like a minus, you know, Ragnar, but a lot of them, yeah, and then you get fucking Conan-looking bad guy, like his henchman, the big jack dude, and then the rest of them are fucking all of a sudden Mad Max rejects. Like, what the fuck? Like, even one of them has, like, a fucking battle axe. It's like, what is going on with this movie? And then they, Danya and, Lance get captured, or no, they capture her, but they leave, for some reason, they don't capture Lance. They only capture her, and they take him back to his house. They try to beat him up. I don't know, I think they were going to kill him, and then, yeah, he beats him up. And I'll admit, it is kind of weird seeing Uncle Jesse swear. Because, yeah, he does swear in the movie a couple of, he says bullshit. I mean, yeah, to be fair, this would have been a year before Full House. This was like 86, so it would have been a year before Full House came out. And he runs into his... Oh, I forgot to mention, yeah, he has an Asian friend. I don't remember the character's name. Who kind of helps him with the tech. He creates, like, some flamethrower thing, which they use later. They basically break into the hideout and manage to save her before she gets burnt to death. Then he tries to, because he kind of takes heed to what she said earlier, because, I have to stay away from you because, so she starts liking him, but he feels like initially, I have to stay away because I don't want you to get hurt. and then eventually she gives. And then there's this cut when he like is about to kiss her. There's like this super rapid like cut. Like what the fuck is this? Yeah, this movie's edited weird too. It's and then the bad guys show up again. They get captured again. Oh, I think Lance and his friend. Okay, Riley. That's what is his name there. Riley. They get captured, and then he has to save them. And then they end up. Ragnar stops. Because this is basically his bad guys are about to pretty much rape Donnie. That's what it looked like was about to happen. And then, I guess to stall for time, Lance basically challenges the big dude, and then that's when a bunch of the other spies essentially come, and like reinforcements come. Then we get a helicopter arrives. Donnie gets in a helicopter, while Lance tries to fight Ragnar, and the fight is terrible. By the way, I didn't mention this. I forgot to mention. Yeah, the poison was made by Robert Englund, which is like, oh shit. I'm like, Robert Englund, why are you in this movie? This is like a year after Nightmare 2, and this would have been a year before Nightmare 3. It's like, why are you in this? Why are you in this movie? Robert Englund, what the fuck? Just randomly in this movie. Yeah, he's just randomly in this movie. Like, I was watching, like, what the fuck? Why are you in here? But anyway, I'll admit, at least it was entertaining bad. It wasn't like, I knew going in, I'm like, it's a fucking spy movie. But granted, there's a lot of things I'll make. It's a spy movie. Actually, I don't even think I could call it a spy movie because his dad is a secret agent. But then it doesn't feel like a secret agent movie because it then switches. The bad guy is Gene Simmons in drag. And he literally has boobs because there's the reason I mentioned it. There's a scene where during the final fight, literally Lance bites his tit. I'm not kidding. I can't believe I said that. that's something I actually said for this movie. Yeah, this fight is bad shit. It's basically there's over like the pipeline, and Lance initially has the upper hand, but then Ragnar has like a secret claw, stabs Lance in the chest, throws him over nearly, but then he manages to get the upper hand and then throws Ragnar. I'm trying to remember how he does it. I think he like either bites him or does something. Oh no, he distracts Ragnar. Like he acts like he's in love because he goes between a man and a woman. So like he acts like, oh, you're the. It was gross. I'm like, they actually wrote this in the movie. I get it. It was a fucking fake out. This like really, you have to write fucking Uncle Jesse saying you're the. I know it's John Stamos, but I'm just calling him Uncle Jesse. In this movie, I haven't really say to Gene Simmons that he's fucking beautiful. Like, oh my god. Okay. And then he turns his hand over against him, hand with the blade. And then, he dies. He grabs Ragnar, throws him over a cliff. He gets the girl. Movie over. Yeah, this movie's terrible. But it was fun. I at least laughed at it. I don't think I'm gonna watch it again, though. But I at least laughed at it. It was for a last second movie that I needed to find to do a review for today since I decided not to do the other one. Fuck it. So I'll figure out what we'll do next week for Bad Movie Wednesday. I don't know. I'll look for something. But I guess out of 10, I give this film like a 5. Honestly, it wasn't horrible. I wasn't. The only really bad acting, really, for me was from the girl. Gene Simmons, I'll give him this. He went all. He is one of those things. Whatever you think of it was granted. Yes, it's Gene Simmons as a bad guy tranny, but he went all the way with it. He didn't hold back. He went all the way with the fucking character. And I mean, if you're gonna do that kind of character, I guess you better go all the way with it, right? And I'll give him that. He went all the fun. And obviously, there's several moments. And probably one of the thumbnails, I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm going to disturb you with a thumbnail. It's probably going to be Gene Simmons doing some fucked up shit. I'll just But anyway. yeah, I'll figure out what we'll do for next week's Bad Movie Wednesday, or for next Wednesday. Or I guess technically Thursday morning. I'm not doing this now, but yeah. But anyway, tomorrow I will be. I'm gonna see if Boy Kills World is online. If it's not up yet, I'll probably give it to like maybe 3 or 4 tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, I fucking got my days wrong. Yeah, tomorrow. Then I didn't realize. I'm fucking just realizing now tomorrow's Friday. So, um, so I'll be doing that. If it's not up, I'll find something else to review or talk about. And then, no, no, this is Friday. Sorry, I'm fucking stupid. I got my days mixed up. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be reviewing The Covenant. If for some reason thought tomorrow was Friday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Thursday, I'm gonna be reviewing The Covenant. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. And then Friday, that's what I'm gonna be doing. So I got my days mixed up. So Thursday, so tomorrow, or today, technically, I'll be reviewing The Covenant. So I'll be watching that for the first time. We'll see if it's any good. So I'm assuming it will be. It's Guy Ritchie. So yeah. Other than that, guys, that was Never Too Young to. I never, I never knew this movie existed. That John Stamos, who in this movie, his dad was fucking George Lazenby, and the villain is Gene fucking Simmons in drag. I never knew this movie existed. I mean, I'll say this. The soundtrack was pretty good. I did enjoy the soundtrack for what it was. It was like very 80s. Anyways, guys. Tomorrow, The Covenant. That's about it. But I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.